Gail, we are now live on Facebook.
Thank you very much, Mary. And thank you, Aaron, very much.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Aaron, for your introduction of music. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for the Martin Luther King Jr. Unity Celebration. It's such a special day of service, of unity, of recognizing Dr. King and his vision for equality, justice, opportunity, peace, and advancement, and also unity is what this program is all about today. I hope that you leave with something that inspires and motivates you to realize the dream that Dr. King fought for and died for. So thank you all for joining us. Thanking the ones that are watching from Facebook Live and for the ones who are a part of our Zoom program. We're hoping to have a good program. Bear with me for anything technical that goes on, but I think we've got things under control. God is shining a light on us, right? We are going to start our program off this morning with an opening music. I'd like to welcome a very special guest. You could hear the little steel pan already playing in the beginning. Mr. Aaron Parrott, he's a multi-talented artist. He travels the world, but he always agrees to present whenever I ask. Such a sweet spirit and my spiritual brother. So let's receive right now, Aaron Parrott.
What's going on?
Thank you so much, Aaron. What a wonderful rendition of that version of what's going on. We're going to hear Aaron again a little bit later on in the program, so make sure you stay tuned. Right now, we're going to receive greetings, and this is going to be from Julie Farkas, who's our Novi Library Director, and she works so hard each and every day to make sure that the staff and guests are comfortable and they're included. During this time especially, it's been a little bit more challenging for us, and I'm sure her, with a lot of burden falling on her shoulders. But I'm so appreciative that you were able to take out time today to join us. So welcome, Julie.
Good morning, Gail. I wouldn't miss it. This has always been a wonderful event to be a part of this particular event every year. I want to say good morning to everyone, to welcome everyone who is joining us. Welcome our city leaders, welcome our community members, and welcome guests who are joining us from outside of Novi. Novi is very much a community that welcomes all. We here at the library have a motto of inform, inspire, include, and I hope that you will feel a sense of that today by joining us with this fabulous program. 10 years ago, the library board made a decision to open the library on Martin Luther King Day, and I think it was a wonderful decision because it gives us an opportunity to provide a program and connect with our community members and to celebrate and to recognize him and also and all the great work, but also to bring us all together as well and unify for a beautiful day and for a few hours together. So I appreciate them doing that. I know so hopefully with you maybe being off today, you will have a chance to take some time and spend it with us for the next hour or so. I know that we are virtual, and for me, that's sad because I always enjoy at this particular program to shake hands and to welcome hugs. And we tend to do that when we are in person. So I'm sending all of you a virtual hug and a virtual handshake this morning as we start this beautiful day, and let all of you know that it's an honor to be part of this event and to be having you be a part of it as well with us. Gail, thank you for setting up another beautiful program. Every year you do not disappoint. In fact, every year it gets better. And I always wonder, how is it going to improve? And yet you seem to do it. By looking at the agenda, I know that everyone is going to really enjoy what they're going to be taking part in this morning. So thank you so much for the planning and putting this together, along with some of the other staff that I know is helping you achieve this virtual event this morning. So welcome everyone. I hope you have a beautiful time enjoying what Gail has put together for you as this wonderful presentation. And I look forward to seeing you all in person very soon. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you very much, Julie. Much appreciated. And as you mentioned, thanking people, it's behind the scenes, but I do want to thank Mary Robinson, who is helping me with all the technology, all the buttons to push and telling me when I'm doing things wrong. So thank you, Mary. I know you don't want to be seen, but I do want to acknowledge you. So thank you very much. Well, right now, as we all know, Dr. King was a minister, and with that comes prayer. And especially in times like these, we can all use a little bit of prayer. So I have asked Pastor Eric Stinson to share a prayer for us today. Are you there, Pastor Eric?
I am here.
You are here and ready. We are welcome to receive a prayer from you today. We can't see you. Can we see
well,
you?
I think Mary has to activate my video.
Let's activate the video, Mary.
I'm tapping it at my end, but it says I have to wait for someone to unstop it at your end. Well, we'll wait a moment. If not, I don't have to be seen. Maybe I can be like Mary behind the scenes and you can hear my voice. You don't have to see me necessarily.
Give us just one quick second. We will see if we can get that video.
It says,
I unfortunately don't see where I can activate that. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay.
Jalen, maybe Jalen.
Can you see it, Jalen? That's perfectly fine. We can hear prayer. Prayers are to be heard and felt anyway. So
absolutely. Just for the record, in case somebody else experiences this, a box popped up. It says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. So anyway, well, let's continue on. I'm joined this morning by my kids, Sonia, Joshua, and Maybella. My wife has some Bible study duties. But as Julie said, this is a different year for us. Aaron, you could not have chosen a better song to begin with by Marvin Gaye. What's going on? What's not going on from what we've had to deal with last year and still into this year? Much change, much unrest. I knew nothing about Zoom or Facebook Live before this year, but as a pastor, I've had to learn quick for our worship services. I wanted to start just with a short reflection. When I was in seminary in South Carolina, I accompanied a group of high school students to the King Center in Atlanta. If you have not been there, I would highly recommend it. As you approach the property, this is a museum to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And as you approach the museum, you see his sarcophagus, his tomb enclosed in the middle of a pond with water running by it. It's a very peaceful setting, but it also reminds me or those who are there of the flowing of time. And although many waters have passed and time has flowed much since the passing of Reverend Dr. King, nevertheless, we find ourselves sometimes in our culture back to the same struggles, back to the same challenges. And we experienced some of that last year. So let's begin with prayer, and I'm going to reflect with an old gospel song that many of you know. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Dr. King, as a pastor, held on to his faith. It's what gave him the strength to do all that he did, not just on behalf of the African American community, but for all the disenfranchised, all the minorities in the movement of the civil rights. So with that, let us indeed turn to prayer. Gracious and merciful Lord God, we come before you this day with many ears listening from many parts of the Novi community and well beyond that. And Lord, we turn our hearts to those events in our culture that have yet again challenged us to live out that dream, to strive to live out that dream that Dr. King spoke about so eloquently, so deeply, so passionately. We pray, Lord, that his spirit would be upon this day, that we would acknowledge his presence here and have his approval as we honor him. We remember, Lord, that he turned to you, that you would be that peace, that you would, like a river, be that peace around him in all that he did, all of his efforts. And let there be a peace, Lord, throughout our culture, through the next few days, through the weeks, months, years ahead, that, Lord, that we would continue to take steps, sometimes small and sometimes great strides toward a greater reconciliation, that all people would be seen equally in your eyes, Lord. None of us chooses our skin color. None of us chooses our culture. You bear us through our mothers, Lord, to be born where you would have us to be. And so in our circumstances, Lord, let us be empowered to do that which we can to make level ground for all of your children for this time and for all time forth. Bless all those who are involved in this program today, that your light, your love would shine through them. In our Lord's precious and holy name we pray. Let the community say amen and amen. Amen.
Thank you
and
so
amen.
much. Thank you so much, Pastor Eric. A beautiful prayer when we do receive that. Next on our program will be a piano solo, musical selection by, this is a phenomenal artist, renowned musician, Xiao. I'll let her say the rest of her name for me, but she is a great pianist, and she currently is the owner and founder of Claire's Academy of Music right here in the city of Novi. She's had many years of experience, and I don't want to take what's such an appropriate song. Thankful is the name of the song that she will be playing. And I'd like you to open up your video, Xiao, and prepare us for song on the piano.
Hi everyone,
Welcome.
how are you? Yeah, my name is Xiaodong Wei, and like Gil introduced, I have my school in Novi. I love city Novi. I actually live in Livonia, and I been musician all my life. That's the only thing I know besides another passion I have. I love cooking. So now I just launched my, besides my artist channel, you can find my music on YouTube by searching my name. And I also just started a cooking, Chinese home cooking channel called Wei's Way Chinese Home Cooking. So you'll see not much there yet. I just starting. So today I'm gonna be playing on a piano name song. A song name is Thankful, because this is very difficult time, but we can still find things to be thankful. So here it is. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful musical selection. So moving for a time like this. I'm not sure if it showed well on our Facebook, but if not, we will make that correction. You have the mic. Would you have something additional to say? I thank you so
No, I
much,
just,
Xiao.
my cat did jump up.
I know. I hope people on Facebook got
she,
to see that. I love your cat.
she loved music. Every time I start playing, she jump up here and enjoy the music. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the music.
Absolutely. Well wishes to you and be safe.
You
All
too.
right, we cannot include unity without including our young people, our children, our young adults. They are our future, and we all have great hopes for them and a prosperous life and comfort for them as well during, I always say, during times like this when so much is going on. We want to support our young people. And joining me this time to represent expressions of unity is Henry Yim. He's a seventh grader in Novi Middle School, and he has an essay and PowerPoint presentation that he will present at this time. Are you ready, Henry?
Yes, I am, but it says that I can't start my video.
Okay, we're going to see if we can get that corrected.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hi everyone. I'm Henry Im, and I'm a 12-year-old student attending Novi Middle School. And my Unity essay is called Unity is Our Superpower. 218 years ago, a great civil rights leader brought forth on this country a new, nonviolent civil rights movement conceived in liberty, social justice, opportunity, unity, and dedicated to the creeds that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident and that all men are created equal. These exact words were said by Dr. King, a person who was an advocate, an activist, a leader, and most importantly, a unifier. From overflowing patients to a lack of PPEs, from ventilator shortages to a rampant disease. This is just one example of the distortion and despair in our current world. People have been turning their backs on each other and are becoming selfish rather than selfless. These actions do not preserve Dr. King's legacy. They wreak havoc and dishonor it. The world deserves better. The people of the world deserve better. Unfavorable attitudes must change for the good of all people. We can't overcome global problems if everyone in the world is bickering with one another. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Those are the powerful words said by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So, unity inspires us to be better. Unity will help our citizenry in numerous ways. People will change. Friendships will start. Hatred will end. Diversity will spread. Some people will not walk into the world frightened as a skittish cat because a cruel word said to them due to their race, gender, beliefs, or disabilities. If we have been given one superpower, one talent, one hope in life, it is the power of unity. We hear their moans and their sober cry. Now, alas, my friends, we must unify. What is unity? Unity is a superpower that is within all of us, and it is how we can create the most peaceful and prosperous world. And this is a design I made that promotes unity, and it includes words such as unity, peace, liberty, social justice, and community. And then this is the entire copy of my Unity is Our Superpower speech. And this was last year's Unity in the Community event. And thank you for listening to my essay. And I would just like to take a moment to thank a few people that are here with us today. I would like to thank my teachers, Mrs. Canayas, Miss Khalil, and Miss Hickey for being here. And thank you for encouraging me and teaching me. And thank you to my principal, Principal Baker, for his support and administrating the Novi Middle School. Thank you.
Wow, Henry, that was more than just an essay. I'm trying to keep my video closed where I wipe tears because, when I hear from children, it just really touches me, and that's what unity is all about. Sometimes adults make it so complicated in the children. If we can just listen and hear our children, maybe we can get a little bit farther than we are each and every day. So thank you, Henry. A very wonderful presentations, and be encouraged.
Yeah, and we like really need to like promote unity like among our younger generation.
For sure. And you're on the right path to doing that. Thank you so much. All right, next on our program, another powerful inspiration from young people. We have Priya with us, and she is the organizer and lead director of the fourth grade FLL robotics team, Technobox. There's more to that, and I will let Priya share with us and share her young people for their presentation of expressing unity. Welcome, Priya.
Thank you so much, Gail. Appreciate it. That was a great, lead in from Henry going into this presentation. So the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is one that we want to share with our children, as you mentioned, the kids, especially in today's world. With this pandemic, it's been so difficult, especially during this time. We would normally attend a local march or we spend a day in volunteering the community. But here, thank you to the Novi Library team for giving this wonderful opportunity to all of us. It was so great for the Technobots team to pause, reflect, and showcase what unity means to them as part of their FLL core values and how they have practiced it throughout the season so far. So I'm so proud to present to you the Technobot team here. We have a couple of members today to talk to you, Hemaksh and Varun. So with that said, Hemaksh, go ahead.
I am Hemaksh from the Technobots team. We are five fourth graders from fourth grade from Novi school districts who have made this video together to show what unity means to each of us. We believe that united we win.
I am Varun Swami. Teamwork and inclusion are part of our first LEGO League team's core values that we have been practicing throughout the season, even in the pandemic. Hope you like our video.
So Gail, you can present the video.
Hi, my name is Vasya Wallace, and I'm a fourth grader at Deerfield Elementary. Unity to me means togetherness and working together to solve problems. In my drawing, I drew different people holding hands, no matter what color or size they are.
My name is Hemaksh Rathore, and I am a fourth grader at Novi Woods Elementary School. Unity to me means that we come from different regions within India, different school districts, different genders, but use this difference as a strength toward reaching our goal. We realize that it's because we are different that each of us are special. Unity in diversity.
My name is Mahi Parikh. I am a fourth grader at Orchard Hills. We're participating in the First LEGO League Challenge 2020 to 2021. The picture I am showing here is made of multiple colors and shades, which formed an attractive piece of art even with different colors. Only one color could not make this piece. We need more than one color to make it. This shows that alone we can do very little, but together we can do a lot.
Hello everyone, my name is Avir Jain. I am a fourth grader at Deerfield Elementary School in Novi, Michigan. Today I'm going to share with you what unity means to me. What I think unity means sticking together as one. I believe we can accomplish anything as long as we are united. Together, we are stronger.
My name is Varun Swami, and I'm a fourth grader at Deerfield Elementary. For me, unity means work as a team together and make things happen.
What a wonderful presentation, young people. Thank you. Wasn't it an excellent video? I love the statement, alone we can do little, but together we can do a lot. Thank you, young people from the FLL Robotics team. Great work that you've put into it. I appreciate it so much, and stay encouraged. All right, next we are going to have another person, and I put them kind of on the line of young people / adult, because I think they probably crossed over to now adulthood, and I know when you turn 18, that matters. You got to be considered an adult. But it's Tori Henry, Novi resident, excellent college student. I just found out she made it to the dean's list in her college, so very smart, very bright, and I asked her if she would participate in making a presentation for this event, which expresses unity. So Tori, are you there? I hope your video works.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you, and let's see if you can open up your video, please.
Yep, it says, okay, here we go. Okay, there we go.
Got it? Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Tori Henry. I am a Nova High School alumni, class of 2020, which this school year has been crazy, but I'm thankful for, all the events and everything that have happened for the class of 2020. I'm just thankful that I could be here to talk to all of you guys and just stay safe. And I have a speech for you, and I hope that you can, I hope that it goes well. Okay. What does unity mean to me? Unity to me means equality, diversity, equity. Unity means conversations. Unity means being uncomfortable while having these conversations that we need to have. When you are uncomfortable, you remember things. Unity means joy as we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Day and the many accomplishments he led during his time here on earth. Unity also means pain as we look at our current state of affairs and blatant racism not far from our doorsteps. If you continue to ignore the racism in America, in our community, you continue to ignore the true meaning of this day. Unity means acknowledging your shortcomings and taking another look at the world through another person's eyes who isn't privileged. Unity is unity is the brutal truth that the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has not made a full circle yet. Although unity may seem complex, difficult, and even at times unapproachable, unity means for us to come together through our differences to better ourselves, our schools, our wonderful libraries, hospitals, businesses, and other places, because it is within those moments that true unity can begin. Thank you, Ms. Gail, for including me in this amazing program. Although we can't meet in person, I'm glad that we're still allowed to have this program because it is important, especially on this wonderful day. And I just hope that everybody here stays safe and go out and enjoy this day because it is a great day. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Tori. Virtual hug.
Virtual hug.
And you stay encouraged as well. I know college can be a little challenging during the first year, especially the way that you're experiencing it right now, but I hope and you will have brighter days ahead. Thank you very much. Next, we're going to have on our program another musical selection, and this is another expression of unity through diversity. We have Acts 1 and 5 band. This is a fantastic band. I've heard them many times. And Anusha, are you ready? Please tell me that your video is working. And if so, we'd love to see you, and you can share more about the band and present the music. Do we have Anusha? If so, I'm not sure if your audio is off, so let's double check that as well. Mary, if you're able to tell me if Anusha is still logged on.
Anusha is still here. Her audio is muted as well as.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
There you are. Hi, Anusha.
Hello. I am thankful to Gail Anderson for giving us this opportunity to present a song on this special day of Martin Luther King Day. And this song is about the name, which is above all names, the Jesus Christ. And he is the Lord of all, and his name to be praised. I am going to launch that song here, and you all can enjoy this. Let me give the song right now.
Great
I hope,
music.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
Sure, Anisha, did you have something else you wanted to say? I'm sorry, I felt like I cut you off.
Oh, no, 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 no. We are so thankful again for having us. And this band is called Acts 1 and 8 with Laborers in Christ. And please reach out to us if you need a special song or a special program. And we do a lot of outreaches too. Gail knows. So just reach out to us if you need any Indian related activities.
For sure. Thank you very much. And you're so right. You do a lot of hard work throughout Novi and around. And as I say that the Novi Library continues to embrace unity and diversity. We have a newly formed Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee that was formed just, just really recently, and we're working hard. You would think we've been around for such a long time. Some of the things that we've accomplished thus far, it's a never-ending project to make sure that we do our part when it comes to diversity and inclusion and unity. I have a list of programs that we have coming up, but I'm not going to read them now. I'm going to ask that you would log on when you get a chance to our website, novilibrary.org, and you can go directly to our DEI page and access many of the programs that we have. And I encourage you to register for them. They are inspirational and educational, and I'm sure you can take something away from that. We're going to move on again to our next order of our program, and it will be a speaking part, and it's from our adults now. Let's see what they do. The children were excellent. Let's see how the adults do. Is that a little bit of pressure? Our next one is Randy Hayward, and he's a businessman for sure, but he's also a member and one of the office holders of the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club. And they do a lot of things in Novi and around Michigan and around the world. So without further ado, expressing unity in a time like this, I'd like to welcome you, Randy. You can tell us your name. Is it old school? Is that right?
Well, they call me old school, but if my mother
right?
was living, they'd call him Randy. But it is old school. I'm the vice president of the Detroit chapter. And yes, you're right. To follow these children is so unfair, but they're not our future. They are our right now, as evident by how well they present it today. Good morning. I offer you greetings from the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club of Michigan, our Detroit chapter. And like most motorcycle clubs, we look forward to serving the community. The Buffalo Soldier stands on three pillars: riding, service, and educating. So if I was riding today, I would have came to you in my helmet and riding gear, but at this time of year, that's not likely. So today I come to you and standing on two pillars, and that is that of educating and serving. And speaking about Dr. King, I humbly recognize the challenge of doing so in a brief few minutes. But if there ever was a man that could be encapsulated in a few minutes, that would be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His work was impactful, faith-based, and timeless. We're still living his work today. But most importantly, his work challenged the viewer or the listener on their moral conviction. We often talk about Dr. King's nonviolent approach, but something had to tear at your hearts to watch people hit, strike, and attacked by dogs and not be morally convicted. Dr. King understood that he was forcing us to look at our moral conviction. When forcing others to look at their moral conviction, Dr. King understood that unity and equity, equality would be gained by each of us looking at how we treat each other and how we serve each other. We must align ourselves with folks who are less fortunate and then provide them with a voice for the voiceless. King so eloquently said, quote, "In the end, we will be remembered not we will remember not the words of our enemy, but the silence of our friends," unquote. Remember, we must speak up, speak out, and speak loudly when we know wrong is being done. Dr. King clearly understood that the success of the civil rights movement would only be successful if we have allies who would speak up for the downtrodden and the disenfranchised, when those downtrodden and disenfranchised couldn't speak for themselves. So you got to speak out when those folks aren't present. King understood that his enemy would be his enemy, but he was more concerned with those who proclaimed to be a friend to speak up on his behalf. In our current civil rights movement, yes, we are currently in our modern civil rights movement, looking at the challenges faced today: abject poverty, racial tension, disenfranchised members of society, and the ongoing fight for civil rights. I can't help but think of Dr. King's last book, and I challenge everyone to go out and purchase it. And that book was Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. And that's where Dr. King was really reflecting on the civil rights movement he had been a part of, that he was a part of, and where it was to go next. This was his last book that he wrote, and you don't often hear about it. So again, I challenge you all to go out and get Dr. King's last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. Dr. King argues for hope, not just for Black folks, but for the nation. Again, if we strive for unity and equality for the nation, the question that we must ask ourselves is, will we solely be a witness, or will we actively speak up against wrongdoing towards those less fortunate? Let's think about this. If we as a nation can sadly watch a man, George Floyd, die on an American street after having a knee placed on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we shouldn't question or retreat to our liberal or conservative values or political affiliation to know that that act was morally wrong. Again, our moral conviction should make us stop in our tracks and want to do right. We must remember that folks don't choose allies. We often say to folks, I'm your ally. That's because I've chosen to align with you. Again, we must remember that folks don't choose allies. Allies choose who or what causes they're going to align with. We must use our voice, position, money, and privilege. Often in the last year, we've heard a lot about privilege. Let's not be mistaken. No one should give up their privilege. No one. However, everyone should use their privilege to uplift, enlighten, and correct the ills that we see in society. To uplift those that need and deserve a helping hand. To have a better America, we must all be uplifted. You know, I served in the Air Force, so I won't talk too much about naval technology, but it is a fact that rising tides lift all ships. So remember, if one lift, we all start to lift. As I close, I offer hope. If we think about President Barack Obama, his mainstay was hope. The reason why hope is important and aim for to have a better country, I feel hope is a core component to unity and equality. Without hope, you're constantly left with trying to answer the question of why does it matter? I'll answer that. It matters because hope causes you to look for and desire a better outcome. So as we desire for a better outcome, please, let's hope for unity and equality to be our driving force. Hope allows you to lose despair and look to help others. Hope allows you to know it's going to be a better tomorrow. Hope makes you not give up. We're currently in our modern civil rights movement. And so let's not lose hope. Let's use hope to drive us towards unity and equality. We must be the ones telling our young people it's going to get better. And then we must be the ones, as King did, to follow that up with action. Saying it is one thing that inspires us, but we must go out and do the hard work to align ourselves with just causes, to use our privilege to uplift folks. So on this wonderful Martin Luther King Day, I really do thank you, Ms. Anderson, for allowing me and the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club to share and hopefully inspire you and the audience to be uplifted and to uplift our citizenry and our nation. Be blessed, and I truly thank you for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful day in this program.
Thank you so much, Randy. If you walk away with nothing else, hope is the word to remember throughout it all. A very powerful presentation that you provided. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you for agreeing. My next speaker is another phenomenal person who works in the community, and not just randomly in the community. He has a foundation, an organization that works with young people. And I always commend anyone who decides to devote their time and their effort and their motivation, their knowledge, their education, their skill and opportunity to advance young people, and particularly African American young men. They really need to feel our support. And we have Toby Tansel. He's a powerful speaker as well. I've heard him many times speak, and he has many endeavors, and we hope to promote his efforts here at the library. And I would like for him to present at this time. Toby, are you there? Hope your video is working. I
Yes,
see
I'm
you.
here.
There you are. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Can everyone hear me pretty good?
Yep.
All right. So first, I'm going to kind of break protocol slightly. What I want everyone to do, if it's okay with you, Gail, is I'd like for everyone to unmute their microphones. And in fact, not only unmute your microphones, but if you're okay with it, put your video on as well.
No problem. Just as long as you remember to turn them back off, no problem.
Hi.
Oh, see,
Hey,
you have some
buddy.
excited people ready for that.
Yeah.
Hi, Toby.
Hey, guys. All right. So the reason that I had you guys do this, and I'm kind of breaking protocol a little, is because I'm super inspired. I'm super inspired by our youth. I'm super inspired by the diversity. I'm super inspired by my peers as adults. I'm super inspired by the young adults. I'm just super inspired. So what I want to do is I want everyone to give all of the other presenters a round of applause.
Agree.
Now, the subject for today is, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King and his overarching message of unity. One of the things that we do within the Phase Forward program is we always get each other on the same vibration from using our voices as the vibrator. So what I want to do is I want everyone on the same page by repeating after me. All right, so listen up, guys. So we're going to go, I am because we are. We are because I am.
Everyone is doing the.
Thank you. Now everyone can mute their microphones again.
Okay. Let's do this one.
Okay, so what we just did was we just used a South African phrase, and that phrase is Ubuntu. So essentially it means in order for me to progress, our collective has to progress. In order for the collective to progress, I have to self-actualize. So we're all in this together in a unified fashion. So now I'm going to share my screen and give a little contextual overview from Dr. King's life. And I'm going to end with my message for today. All right, so Gail actually gave me the title of this, and it's the importance and need for unity in times like these. So of course we know we're in the middle of a pandemic. We have a global crisis, but not only do we have a global crisis in terms of a virus that's harmful for human beings, but we also have a sociological crisis that's harmful for human beings as well, in terms of the mounting and the all-pervasive racism that we've seen since the beginning of this country, and that we see coming alive in a very overt fashion today. So before I get into those particular subjects, I want to make sure that we keep the main thing, which is Dr. King. So young people, one thing that you may or may not know is that his initial name was Michael, but he was destined for Martin. So after his dad was inspired by Martin Luther, the Protestant Reformation leader, he decided to change his son's name. Another thing that I want you guys to know about him is that He was an incredible early achiever. He actually started college at 15 years old at Morehouse College. Another notable that a lot of people don't know is that his I Have a Dream speech actually started in Detroit. So I'm born and raised in Detroit. I'm a lifer of the city. It's the best city in the world, in my opinion. So I'm going to definitely give some Detroit historical background. Three of the key organizers in bringing Dr. King here for what was called the Freedom Rally were James Del Rio, who was a local politician and businessman, C.L. Franklin. He was a local pastor, did a lot of great things in the community. You probably know his very famous daughter, Aretha. And then there was Albert Clegg, and he was the founder of the Shrine of the Black Madonna. That church is still in existence. Of course, we can't go to church too often in person, but he was another incredible man. Now, these three guys, they had a different outlook on life. They all had their own individual perspectives, but they came together in unity to bring Dr. King to the city of Detroit to fight against the tyrannical racism that we were facing here in the city. And the result was the largest freedom rally up until, of course, he did his famous I Have a Dream speech in Washington. Now, today was an incredible example of this next slide. We saw young people, we see young people of all ethnicities coming together to move our agenda in terms of justice forward, to move our collective forward. And I'm so proud to be a part of this. So this title of this slide is The Future of a Unified Nation. Dr. King had the foresight to see the future of the US. One of the biggest statements used from his I Have a Dream quote speech is that little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as brothers and sisters. And we're seeing that manifest today with the young people as a part of this event. Thank you so much. Now, I personally like to get into the specifics of what it means, what it looks like, and exactly what it is. Dr. King's message is coming to fruition now more than ever. As you can see, I call it this multi-ethnic salad. We all like to think of the US as a melting pot, but within a melting pot, you're gonna have everything become amalgamated. And essentially is to create a false illusion of a oneness that's default. But we don't wanna go into a default oneness. We wanna hold on to our ethnic values. We wanna hold on to what it is that creates us and makes us unique. So I like to think of it as a multi-ethnic salad. So you still get a diverse amount of flavors, but it all unifies, comes together to create this one great dish. So in the next 40 years, there won't be a default ethnic group that's the majority. It's going to be a completely diverse salad. We're going to be of all colors. And the beauty of it is we're going to get rid of the value of seeing the difference in color. Now, there'll be a few of us who won't necessarily want to get with it. And I think we kind of saw that small overt group last week. However, they really just expose themselves and how small-minded they are, because irregardless to that ideology, our young people are going to move our collective justice agenda forward. And to talk about young people today, I saw brilliant young minds. So fortunately, our brilliant young people will learn from the mistakes that we've made. They will be properly educated by us and our heroic male and female leaders that are alive and that are also ancestors. Our young people will continue to forge healthy relationships across ethnic lines, and they will truly live out the vision that Dr. King so eloquently expressed before they were born. Now, there are steps that we need to get there. One of the images that I showed you of Albert Clegg, this is one of my ancestral heroes. He was at an event for another great civil rights leader. And at the end of the event, he asked himself a question and he asked the other organizers a question. He says, so do we just leave this here as a feel-good ceremony, or do we take this energy and do something with it? And the position that I take is that people like Gail Anderson, people like Tia Marie, people that I know within the Detroit community specifically, we're taking action steps to actually get to the point of justice that we all desire. So if you ever need help with any of the action steps, if you ever want to partner for any of the action steps, I've just started a venture where I'm actually taking a lot of the information that I presented here, along with more information that I have to present to enact social justice workshops. You can take down my information here, or you can reach out to Gail for my information, and we can do this thing moving forward. So in closing, again, I want to remind you of what we started with, which was the South African phrase Ubuntu, and that is, I am because we are because I am.
Thank you very much, Toby. Trying to click my buttons. Inspiring presentation, as I would expect nothing less coming from you. And if you'd like to type your information, feel free to type it in the chat box so those who are on Zoom can receive your contact information if they are interested. And we'll certainly have you again for more programs. I already told you that, so thank you.
Absolutely. Can you unshare the screen?
For sure. Unshare the screen. I think it's still showing share screen. I think it's still on share screen, if I'm not correct. Is that correct? There we are. Thank you once again, Toby. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys for your time. Young people, continue to do what you're doing. You guys are awesome, and you're representing what the world is going to be.
Absolutely. A few comments I'd like to make for this day that means something to me. When I see all over the news, 50 states are bracing for violent protest, the Capitol overtaken by protesters, racial injustices taking the lives of our Black men in increasing numbers, a pandemic taking the lives of many and altering the lives of most. When I see destruction and depression and discrimination and division, I choose to take a stand within myself to declare that I will not be consumed by these actions. I choose to challenge myself to believe in the hope that I may or may not see. I will not allow setbacks to steal my focus. I will not allow discrimination to steal my determination. I will not allow anger to steal my joy. I will not allow loss to steal my gain. I will not allow sorrows to steal my strength. I will not allow injustice to steal my peace. I will not allow hatred to steal my love. I will not allow anything or any negative force to rob me of the promises of God. So I encourage you to keep the faith that better things are ahead of you. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So while you may not see the future of hope that lies ahead, let your faith carry you day by day, trusting that God's peace and love will keep you from the fiery darts of the wicked. I encourage you to not give up. And as we approach the near end of this program, we are going to have another musical selection. And this will be from the talented Aaron Parrott. He not only plays the steel pan, if some of you were wondering what that instrument was that he was playing a little bit earlier, it was a steel pan. Now he's going to play the keyboard for a great song fitting for the time. And after he plays, we will enjoy. And this was something I worked along with many of my coworkers hard on, a video presentation expressing I have a dream. So please stay for the conclusion of this program. After the video, you will be free to leave. Thank you so much for your time. At this time, receive Aaron Parrott.
So I am Aaron Parrott, and if you would like to follow me on social media, Facebook or Instagram, it's Aaron Brave Soul, B-R-A-V-E, a little shirt over here, Brave Soul, Aaron Brave Soul, Facebook, Instagram, and I'd like to see some of you The laborers of Christ, it was nice to see you all. I miss you all during the Christmas events. We weren't able to have it. So hopefully we'll be able to get back soon. I miss everybody during this Novi Library. This song is from the Selma soundtrack, and it's called Glory. Hope you all enjoy it. Have a good day. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. 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 Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Every day, women and men become legend. Since they go against our skin, become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all, it just ain't specific enough. One son dies, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. And when it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots stay on the ground, a camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war's won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish. When it's said and done, we'll cry glory. Oh, glory. Hey, glory. Glory. We'll cry glory. Oh, glory. 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 Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, he rose to become a hero. Facing a league of justice, his power was the people. Enemy is regal, a king became legal. Sail to face of Jim Crow under a bar ego. Our chips weapon. It is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in our dream we had an epiphany, but now we right our wrong in history. No one can win the war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory, the coming of the Lord. My eyes have seen glory. One day, one day, oh, one day. Thank you.
We have a video that will be playing shortly. just bear with us for 1 second? We have a little bit of technical difficulty, but you will appreciate this video. So please stand by. We are having technical difficulty, but we are definitely going to play the video. And if it doesn't come through well, please log on to our Facebook page for the complete video, but we are going to attempt to play it now.
I'm happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro is still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lowly island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. So we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. So we have come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this hollow spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all God's children.
It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. The sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until there is invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will not be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship's rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. But there is something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm thresholds which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not be led us to a distrust of all white people. For many of our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. They have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone.
As we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating, for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied. And we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells, battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, we still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
This is our hope. This is our faith. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing.
Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, it must become true.
And so, let freedom ring from the prodigious city of Novi.
Let freedom ring from the mighty city of Ann Arbor.
Let freedom ring from the heightening area of Saline. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
And when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city,
we'll be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men, white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing the words of the old Negro spiritual.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you.